everybody, and welcome to this new year. Happy 2023, everybody! Pow, 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 pow. I'm so happy that you're here, alive, strong, and that you're tuned in to the Diffaba podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lilian Kerubo, a pediatrician and a behavior enthusiast. So we took a small break. Well, not really small, but we took a break. We needed some time to reflect, have some self care, and plan for the new year. And this is the surprise for the new year. We are now on video and on YouTube. Please follow us, like, share, comment, and help this podcast grow. For those of you who are new to this is a podcast that talks about the development and behavior of children and how that should progress in a typical fashion and how that may progress in an atypical fashion. And we have a focus on African and Kenyan children because there is a lot of stigma, a lot of myths, and a lot of confusion about children who are developing and behaving atypically. So you might have children who may be different either in the way that they talk, in the way that they walk, in the way that they communicate, in the way that they learn, and in the way that they understand the world around them. So this podcast sheds light on that and tries to answer some of the questions and some of the gray areas that may exist in such scenarios. So welcome everybody, and comment below and tell me how you spent your holidays. Do you celebrate? Do you not celebrate? How is it with your children who may be developing and behaving differently? How does the holiday season affect them? Is it a joyous season? Is it a difficult season? And how does it affect you as a parent or as a teacher or as a guardian of a child who may be developing or behaving differently? So today, I'm just going to introduce the topic or the area of focus for the next few weeks. And we are going to be focusing on the causes of disability. Disability is one of the causes of childhood developmental and behavioral challenges, because if a child has a disability, perhaps with the way that they speak or the way that they process information, then that may manifest itself in how the child will develop and how the child will behave. And so we are going to talk about causes of disability. Oftentimes, parents do not understand why their child is the way that they are. Other children may not understand why another particular child is the way that they are. And one of the top questions we get as doctors when we make a diagnosis of disability, one of the questions we get is why? What brought this on? What could I have done differently? How did my child get this, And so we are going to try and attempt to answer some of these questions. We may not be able to answer all the questions. I don't have all the knowledge that exists in this world, so I may not have all the answers for you. I just want to prepare with that, and I hope that you stick around and that you comment and that you share what your experience is or what your knowledge is for those who are medical practitioners or psychologists or people who know about disabilities. So this is an open space. This is not a lecture. This is a discussion, and feel free to comment, ask questions, correct, add and subtract from whatever that you hear or see in this podcast. And we are going to have a reason or a cause of disability for every episode. And we're going to have about 5 episodes. And the first week, we are going to talk about genetics being a cause of disability. And then the next week, we are going to talk about pregnancy and birth effects and how those can cause or bring about disabilities. In children, we are going to talk about early childhood infections and how those infections or diseases can bring about disability in the child. We are going to talk about trauma, and we're going to talk about both physical and psychological trauma and how trauma can bring about disability in children. We are also going to talk about the role of the environment and the role of stimulation in either bringing or stopping disability. Disability causes a lot of emotional, physical, mental, and sensory challenges. And it's important that we understand how some of them develop so that we can either prevent them from happening again, or we can better understand the child who has a disability. So I hope that you stick around. I hope that you stay with me. I hope that you share this episode and this podcast with those who you feel may benefit, so that we can all learn together and so that we can create a community that understands, that improves, and that maximizes the experience of children with additional needs. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.